The next few days, what a delicious little promise that is. Like the calm before the storm or the ticking of a clock strapped to a blackboard as the surprises. See, most people, they walk through life assuming tomorrow will look exactly like today. Same roads, same faces, same lies they tell themselves just to sleep at night. But then boom, something shifts, something uninvited, something divine or destructive, maybe both. And when that moment creeps in, slow and silent like a shadow on the wall, oh, that's when the real show begins. Oh, silence, such a beautiful sound, isn't it? People underestimate it. They think noise means action, means danger, means drama. But the silence, that's the one that should make you sweat. That's the one that creeps in right before the whole world flips its table and spills everything you thought was safe and certain. Silence is not absence. No, it's presence. A presence of something waiting, watching, holding its breath just before it lunges. And people are too busy scrolling and yawning to notice it. You see, when everything is quiet, too quiet, it's because something's loading in the shadows. Like that strange moment before the lightning hits, and your hair stands on end like it knows the air's about to scream. But the funny thing is, we're trained to ignore that moment. Trained to think, oh, it's nothing, just before it becomes everything. Trained to treat the warning signs like background noise when really they're front row tickets to the madness that's inching closer. But the silence, it's smart. It's strategic. It doesn't bang on your door. No, it sits in your kitchen, legs crossed, sipping tea like it owns the place. You walk past it every day and don't even notice. You tell yourself it's fine. Everything's fine. Because that's what people do when they're trying to keep their minds from unraveling. They cling to the idea that silence means peace, that the quiet means comfort. But it doesn't. Not always. Sometimes it means something's stalking you, and it doesn't need to make noise to be deadly. It's like this: imagine a city street at night, empty, no cars, no horns, no footsteps. Just that low hum of the street lamps and the whisper of wind. Now ask yourself, is that peace, or is that the world holding its breath before it screams? Because deep inside you, where the survival switch lies, something twitches. You feel it in your spine. Your instincts don't lie, baby, they just get muffled by comfort, by routine, by denial. But the silence, that's the real alarm. That's the red light with no siren. You ever notice animals don't need clocks to know when danger's near? The birds stop chirping. The dogs get restless, the air feels wrong. But we clever humans, we drown it out with playlists and podcasts, and everything happens for a reason nonsense. And while we're busy pretending not to feel the shift, something sharp is getting closer. The silence knows when to arrive. It's not sloppy. It doesn't rush. It waits. It chooses its moment. And when it does, you don't get a second to prepare. One moment you're standing still, the next you're spinning in the eye of something bigger than logic, bigger than belief. But here's the twisted beauty: if you can feel that silence, truly feel it crawling on your skin, then maybe, just maybe, you've already been chosen. Not for comfort, not for applause, for something messier, something louder than a bomb, but it starts in total quiet. And the ones who sense it first, they're not the strongest or the smartest. They're the ones who stopped pretending, the ones who looked into the dark and didn't blink. Because when silence comes knocking, it's not asking for permission. It's dragging revelation behind it like a rusted chain. So the question is, do you keep walking like nothing's off, or do you pause, turn your head slightly, and listen not with your ears, but with whatever's yours? Because if you can hear it, if you can feel that chill even while everything looks calm, then congratulations. You're not asleep anymore. You've been notified. The quiet has spoken. And what comes next? Oh, it won't be quiet at all. Oh, you really want to talk about pressure, huh? That invisible weight that wraps around your ribs like a cold belt, tightening with every breath you pretend isn't heavy. People walk around saying, no pressure, take your time, but what they really mean is hurry up and don't mess it up. Pressure's the real puppet master, darling. Not fate, not luck, not talent, pressure. And the best part, it doesn't knock. It seeps. It slides in when no one's looking, right between your confidence and your doubts. They teach you to smile through it, stay calm, don't let them see you crack. What a lovely little lie that is. You're expected to hold everything together while everything inside you is already a pile of sparks and splinters. But you do it anyway, don't you? Because that's what they taught. Pretend the heat doesn't burn. Pretend the ceiling isn't lowering. But the funny thing about pretending, it doesn't make the walls stop closing in. It just delays the moment they finally touch. Oh, and they love to say pressure builds diamonds. That's the favorite line of people who've never been buried by it. Sure, it builds diamonds, but it crushes everything else. The bones, the nerves, the pieces that make you human before they try to polish you into a thing they can show off. You ever feel that? That moment where your hands are sweating and your teeth are clenched and everyone's waiting for you to be brilliant, and all you can think is, what if this is the moment the curtain rips open and they see the chaos underneath? Because pressure doesn't come with instructions. No user manual. No off switch. It's custom built for you. Knows your weak spots. Knows your triggers. Knows exactly when to whisper in your ear. They're all watching. That whisper turns into a roar so loud it drowns out your instincts. And the people clapping for you, they don't hear it. No, they only see the act, the performance, the mask. But behind it, there's a war going on, and you're the battlefield. And it's not just public pressure. Oh no, the silent kind's even worse. The kind you put on yourself, the expectations you never say out loud but carry like cement shoes. I have to succeed. I have to prove them wrong. I can't afford to fall again. That internal noise is the soundtrack of the so-called chosen ones, the ones expected to rise. But nobody talks about what it costs to keep rising. Nobody talks about how your own reflection starts to look like a stranger under fluorescent lights. Let's not forget the pressure of time. That ticking sound in the back of your skull, reminding you the clock doesn't care if you're ready. It just keeps moving. And you better move with it or get left behind. People say there's always tomorrow. Cute. As if tomorrow doesn't come armed with more pressure than today. It stacks. It builds. It piles until you're buried under expectations that aren't even yours anymore. You're just performing a role someone else wrote. But here's the kicker. The moment you stop resisting it, the moment you stop pretending you're fine and admit the weight is real, that's when you see clearly. That's when you stop trying to impress ghosts and start confronting the real villain, fear. Because pressure's favorite weapon is fear, not failure, not pain. Just that little whisper, what if you're not enough? That's all it takes to freeze a soul mid-sentence. That's all it takes to turn a dream into a burden. You've been conditioned to treat pressure like a badge of honor, to wear stress like its designer. But all it really does is carve cracks into you, hoping you'll snap before you shine. And when you finally do snap, they act surprised. Oh, we didn't see it coming. Of course you didn't. You were too busy clapping to hear the screams. Too busy pointing to the spotlight to see who it was burning in the twist. Pressure doesn't end. It just changes shape. Promotion, more pressure, recognition, new expectations. Even peace comes with its own kind of tension waiting for it to end. So you keep spinning, keep balancing. Keep pretending it's all fine. But somewhere deep down, you know, this isn't just performance, it's survival and pressure. Oh, it's not your enemy. It's your audience, your critic, your shadow. Always there. Always watching. Oh, they'll tell you healing is beautiful. That it's calm. That it's peaceful. They'll show you sunsets and candles and soft music playing in the background while you sip herbal tea and whisper affirmations into the mirror. What a joke. Healing. Real healing. It's bloody. It's brutal. It's tearing yourself open and crawling through the mess you've been sweeping under the rug for years. You want the truth. Healing doesn't look like a spa day. It looks like a war zone where the enemy wears your face. Because healing means facing the stuff you thought you buried deep enough that it couldn't breathe anymore. But it does. Oh, it does. It waits patiently until the moment you let your guard down. Then boom, it rises from the cracks in your smile and says, remember me? Healing isn't gentle. It's a mirror you didn't ask for, showing you things you never wanted to admit. It's your past screaming in your present, refusing to be ignored. And guess what? You can't walk around it. You can't dance through it. You either face it or drown in it. And people around you, they don't always understand. They think healing means you're getting better, so they expect you to be brighter, lighter, more you. But what if the you they knew was built on silence, on performance, on pretending? What if healing means burning that version down? What if healing is ugly crying at 2 a.m. and waking up wondering if you've actually made progress, or if you're just tired of hurting? What if healing is loneliness? What if it's rage? What if it's laughing maniacally in the middle of a breakdown because you finally realized how deep the wound goes? You see, nobody warns you that healing comes with grief, the grief of letting go, of who you were, of what you thought you needed, of people who can't walk with you into this new chapter. Healing has a body count. Friendships die. Relationships crack. Comfort zones get torched. You can't grow in the same place that broke you, but people want you to heal quietly, politely, without making them uncomfortable. They want you to rise from the ashes without them having to smell the smoke. And here's the real kicker, healing doesn't come with a timeline. There's no finish line. You don't wake up one day and say, yes, I am healed. It comes in waves. Some days you feel powerful, like you've outrun the darkness. Other days it tackles you from behind and laughs while you struggle to breathe. It's messy. It's cyclical. It's unpredictable. And just when you think you figured it out, it shapeshifts and asks, how badly do you really want this? There are days when healing feels like betrayal. You start pulling away from the things that once comforted you, the habits, the people, the lies you used to tell yourself just to get through the day. You feel like a traitor to your old self, but maybe that self was never really you. Maybe it was survival mode in a nice outfit. Maybe healing is killing that version so the real one can crawl out from under the wreckage and breathe for the first time. And pain, oh, pain doesn't just disappear. It transforms, it becomes a compass. It starts pointing you toward truth, even when the truth stings like acid. It starts asking questions. Why did you tolerate? Why did you believe you weren't enough? Why did you keep quiet when you should have screamed? Healing turns you into an investigator of your own soul. And the deeper you dig, the more landmines you find. But you keep going. Not because it's easy. Because stopping would mean staying broken. And you've been broken long enough. People love the healed version of you, but they rarely respect the process it took to get there. They don't see the breakdowns, the panic attacks, the isolation. They don't hear the arguments you had with yourself, the nights you begged whatever God you believed in to just make it stop. But that's okay. Let them cheer for the result. You'll know the cost. You'll wear those scars like armor, not shame. Because healing is a revolution. And revolution never looks clean. It looks like fire. It sounds like chaos. It feels like rebirth with teeth.oh. You thought stepping into your purpose would feel like standing in a spotlight, didn't you? Like heaven would crack open, angels would sing, and everything would just fall into place. That's what they tell you. That if it's meant for you, it'll be easy. That purpose comes with peace. But let me tell you something they don't. Purpose? Real purpose? It's loud, it's messy. It's a punch in the gut. It drags you out of your comfort, tosses you into the fire, and watches to see if you'll burn or rise. You want to walk in purpose. Good. Be ready to lose your mind first. Be ready to question everything you thought you knew about yourself. Be ready for the silence. Not the peaceful kind. The kind that screams. The kind that forces you to face yourself with no distractions. Because purpose doesn't show up on a silver platter. It shows up in the middle of a breakdown, with its sleeves rolled up, asking if you're finally ready to stop pretending. Purpose doesn't care about your 5-year plan. It doesn't care about your carefully curated image. It's not impressed with your routine. It will crash through your life like a thief in the night and take everything that was never supposed to stay. And you'll panic. You'll scream. You'll hold on tight to everything falling apart, thinking it's all a mistake. But it's not. It's a stripping, a holy demolition. Because purpose isn't built on ease. It's built on ruin and people. People will start looking at you differently. They'll say you've changed, that you're acting strange. They'll try to remind you of who you used to be, like that version of you was something sacred. But you'll know better, you'll feel it. That tug in your chest, that fire behind your eyes. You'll start saying things that don't make sense to them. You'll start moving different. You'll start shedding the lies you wore like skin. And it'll scare them. Because you're no longer controllable. You're no longer predictable. You're becoming. Purpose costs. It costs your pride, your excuses, your need to be liked. You'll bleed for it. You'll lose sleep for it. You'll cry over it. You'll wish you could unknow it. Because once it finds you, you can't unfeel it. It haunts you. It follows you. It whispers in your ear even when you try to drown it out with noise, with distractions, with the comfort of staying small. But it doesn't shut up. And it won't go away. And timing? Oh, forget timing. Purpose doesn't wait until you feel ready. It doesn't knock. It kicks the door in when your life is a mess and says, let's begin. It shows up when you're broken, when you've lost everything, when you think nothing good could ever come out of this place. That's where purpose thrives, in the ruins, in the chaos, in the dark. Because that's where your raw self lives. That's where the masks fall off. That's where the truth has teeth. You'll be misunderstood. You'll be judged. You'll be isolated, and you'll start to realize that not everyone can go with you. Some people loved your wounds more than your healing. Some people loved your silence more than your voice. And that's the point. Purpose doesn't come to make you comfortable. It comes to make you honest. It comes to tear off every false layer and demand that you show up real or not at all. And you'll be tempted to quit. Oh, yes, you will. You'll think, maybe this was all in my head. Maybe I should go back. Back to what's safe. What's familiar. What doesn't hurt. But deep down you'll know too much now. You've tasted the fire, you've heard the call. And no matter how loud the fear screams, there's a voice louder still saying, keep going. Purpose isn't soft. It doesn't stroke your ego. It doesn't give you applause. It strips you down and dares you to rise anyway. It turns your pain into fuel, your story into fire, your scars into maps. It asks you to trust something you can't always see, to step where there's no path, to speak when your voice trembles. And when you do, even in fear, even in doubt, that's when it grips you. That's when it starts shaping you. That's when you realize you weren't made for comfort. You were made for this. You ever watch people walk through life like they're sleepwalking? Yeah, you know what I mean. Eyes open, feet moving, mouths talking, but no one's home. Just echoes. Empty halls behind the eyes. Like they're playing roles in a movie they never auditioned for. Scripted lines. Dead smiles. And they think that's normal. They call it maturity, responsibility, being realistic. But you're different, aren't you? There's something twitching beneath your skin, something clawing to get out. You hear the ticking clock, but it's not fear that grows with every tick, it's rage. It's energy. It's awakening. They told you to blend in, to behave, to fit in your little box. Fold your edges, hide your roar, smile like a puppet. But they forgot something. You weren't built for smallness. You weren't made for average. No, you're the glitch in the system, the crack in the mirror. You were born to break things, to shake foundations. And that's not poetic fluff. That's a warning to anyone who thought you'd stay quiet. You feel it, don't you? That weird pull. That fire in your belly that doesn't go away no matter how much you try to be normal. You sit in rooms that suffocate your spirit. You nod while your soul screams. You try to fit in, but you can feel your edges start to burn. Because the truth is, you're being called. Not by a voice out there, but something in here. Something raw. Untamed. Something that doesn't want your comfort. It wants your chaos, and the funny thing is, they'll call you crazy for wanting more. For feeling like there's something big about to erupt inside you. Oh, they'll call it delusion. Say you're too intense, too much. But that's what people say when they can't handle someone waking up. That's what they do when your reflection forces them to look at how asleep they are. They'll laugh, mock, distance themselves, but deep down they feel it too. They just buried it so deep. They forgot how to scream but how you scream. That you're not here to just pass time. You're not some filler character in someone else's story. You're the storm. You're the rewrite. You're the part of the story where everything changes. And oh, they're not ready for what's coming. They're not ready for you, and guess what? That tension in your chest, that pressure. That's not anxiety. That's transformation. That's your old self dying a slow death. That's your true self kicking and punching its way through the cage. The cage you helped build with doubt and fear and fake smiles. But now the hinges are breaking. The chains are rattling. You're starting to see through the illusion, through the lies, through the life you were tricked into living. There's something inside you that refuses to go back to sleep. It wakes you up at 3 a.m., heart pounding, head spinning with visions of a different life. One where you're alive, not just breathing but alive, where you don't apologize for your intensity, where your dreams aren't shushed, where your voice doesn't tremble anymore. That's the version of you that's waking up, or that's the version of you that's about to burst through your skin. You can't play small anymore. You can't keep pretending. Not when the truth is boiling in your blood, not when your bones are vibrating with something ancient, something divine, something divines. You weren't meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out, to disrupt, to rip the mask off the world and laugh while it gasps. You were meant to become, whatever that means, whatever it costs, and don't get me started on the fear. Oh yes, it's there, loud, hungry, but it's not there to stalk you. It's there to test you, to see if you'll blink, to see if you'll turn around and crawl back into your shell. But you won't, will you? Because you've tasted something now. The edge, the spark, the possibility of becoming something so real, so raw, that the world either bows or burns, so you keep feeling like something's about to pop, huh? That maybe you're going crazy. No, sweetheart, you're waking up, you're shedding the skin. You're stepping into the fire, not to be consumed, but to become the flame. Keep going. Let it happen. Let it tear you apart. Let it build you again. Because what's coming out of you isn't small, isn't safe, isn't soft. It's power, it's clarity, it's everything they tried to hide from you.